guys, my name's Jess. I'm very new to this whole vlogging, videoing thing. As you can probably see from the title, I'm getting a breast augmentation or boob job, and I just wanted to basically show the process and my experience. I'm going to keep it short and sweet because I'm not very good at this whole talking thing. So yeah, I've picked a transform group. All I can say is do your research, make sure you're happy with who you're going with, and you do research on the surgeon, because that's your body's going to be in their hands at the end of the day. So always do your research on who you're going with first, and just make sure you're 100% happy before you go ahead. Just wanted to say I'm not promoting plastic surgery in any way, just wanted to show my experience. This is something I've wanted done for a long time, and all I can say is do what makes you happy at the end of the day. So yeah, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet, a couple of clips from my experience and the whole process, and then I will do another video at the end sort of going a bit more in detail on the costs and what I went with and the whole process in general, really. So enjoy the next few clips. So I have just had my pre-op appointment at the Exeter clinic. Saw a lovely nurse called Matthew. We just had to do a quick MRSA test because I work in healthcare, so it was just a quick swab, very similar to a COVID test. We did that, took about 5 minutes. And we also just used that time to answer any questions I had. He was very helpful, very lovely. He's also the nurse that I'll be seeing for my post-op checks. So that was very good to know. It was lovely to meet him. So yeah, so answered any questions I had, and hopefully the MRSA test will come back all clear and we can go ahead with the surgery. I've been really bad at videoing my whole experience sort of post-surgery, so I thought I'd just do a quick video now while I'm driving. There wasn't really too much to update during everything. Didn't really have much pain, sort of just basic discomfort. Wouldn't really say I was in pain as such. I didn't need to take the painkillers that they had prescribed me. I just took normal paracetamol and ibuprofen, and even that was sort of as and when, really. weeks post-op. Everything seems to be going smoothly. Haven't had any problems, just sort of basic muscle discomfort, but nothing too major. Was meant to have a post-op appointment, but just due to difficulty getting there, I haven't had that yet, so we will see how that goes. But yeah, so no problems, all looks really good. The incisions look really small and clean, and then I will meet again with the surgeon in 3 months to just check how things are really, and I believe he'll be checking the incisions then as well. So yeah, I've been pretty self-sufficient, haven't really needed anybody to do anything major for me. Sort of had a couple of days where I struggled to sort of sit up in bed, but other than that, haven't really had any problems. Okay, so as you saw from the previous clip, I've just inserted a little before and after. So that was obviously before, and then 2 weeks post-op, as they're looking currently. That was actually just a few days ago. Obviously, sort of the placement of them, they're going to be very different to how they're going to be sort of long term. So they're going to still be quite high up and quite hard at the moment, but in about 3 to 6 months they're meant to drop and look a lot more natural, and they're going to be in their sort of final position in sort of so many months time. But as you can see, there's quite a difference there. So as I probably said in the first intro video, I went with Transform Hospital Group. Couldn't be happier. As I also said, obviously do your research with who you want to go with. It's very important to pick somebody that you trust, and I felt that trust with Transform, and the surgeon that was sort of recommended to me. At my consultation, obviously you go through what sort of size you want to go for. They'll ask you what you're sort of looking to go for, and they'll recommend some as well for you. Because I was so small, I had sort of limited tissue to use, but he sort of gave me a couple of sizes to recommend. One was 275 cc's and the other was 300 cc's. So I tried them both on, sort of got a gauge of how I feel with them in, and we ended up going for the 300 cc's. And I believe they were 300 cc's. They were Mentor gel implants, which are a silicone, adhesive silicone sort of implant. So they're not the saline. I don't really believe that many people do that anymore. And they were also high profile. So low profile would be sort of, or low to high profile is how far they sort of stick out. High profile, it just gives that nice sort of look that I was going for really, and it is what he recommended to have as well. So I'm really happy that we chose that. Obviously I wanted to keep them sort of looking natural, so 300 cc's was the size for me, but 300 cc's on myself would look completely different to 300 cc's on somebody else with maybe a slightly bigger chest already, because obviously you have that existing tissue there to start with. The total cost of my treatment was can't remember now, 6,253, and that was, you pay 500 as a deposit when you have your consultation. If you want to go ahead, then obviously you pay for the remaining amount sort of 4 weeks before your surgery day, but if you obviously choose that you don't want to go ahead, that will then get refunded back to you, so you're not losing anything by paying that deposit. You can pay finance options with Transform, which is really good, but because I had been thinking about doing this for so long, I had the money saved already, so I just paid for it outright really. So yeah, really happy with how it's going so far. Obviously I will be having a 3-monthly checkup appointment to see my surgeon again, but I didn't really want to leave the end of this video that long, so that's why I wanted to just put in what they look like now. obviously if anybody has any questions, or if you're interested and you want to see the sort of the end result, then I can do that as well. But obviously if you do have any questions on sort of the treatment or the experience or the process, or like my surgeon, anything like that, then obviously you can just comment below and I will reply. In terms of, I think, my post-op, I don't think I really touched on that very much. I think my videos have been quite short and sweet. So I didn't really have much pain. They do prescribe painkillers. They gave me paracetamol, ibuprofen, and they also prescribe codeine. I think it's codeine, which is obviously a stronger one. I didn't need to take those at all. I did have discomfort for a little bit. It sort of varies as to where, and obviously everybody's different, so you're gonna feel it slightly differently. To begin with, it was just a lot of sort of achy muscle pain. I felt like sort of I was very bruised, which I think I did get bruised sort of just under a week in. I was very bruised sort of all from my like sternum area and around. This sort of side area did get very, very swollen. Obviously you're wearing the surgical bra that they give you. That was included in the price as well, but I did buy another one just because you've got to be in it for 6 weeks, and obviously you don't want to live in the same one for 6 weeks, so you need to have some to change into when you obviously wash each one. You want to be able to switch and change them and wear clean ones, obviously. So yeah, but obviously you're wearing a surgical bra. They are tight-ish. They have to be somewhat tight. So I did get very swollen. Sorry, my lighting is rubbish. I did get very swollen sort of here, and my sternum was very bruised. I have had some sort of muscle pain sort of around here. Obviously, to begin with, your arm movement is very limited, but now I can sort of move around. I can go so high. It starts to get a little bit tight if you go too high, but I managed to just about put my hair up by myself. I sort of managed to give it a bit of a wash as well in the shower, but I did find that it was easier to sort of wash my hair over the bath, and then I had like a little bath just to wash properly. But I managed to do all of that myself. I didn't really need anybody to come and do it for me. I just made sure that I didn't lift anything too heavy and I didn't overstretch my arms, but other than that it was absolutely fine. It was a bit of a struggle to sit upright in bed because I did get told to lie flat, which I know a lot of people get told to sleep on a bit of an incline or sort of upright, but I got recommended to lie as flat as I could, which obviously meant sitting up afterwards wasn't the easiest, but I got used to it, and after a couple of times doing it I sort of got the hang of it, and it wasn't painful, it was just a bit difficult. And yeah, the actual incisions didn't really cause any pain either. Obviously they felt quite tight and I didn't want to sort of overstretch them or anything, but they've been relatively straightforward as well. So yeah, at the moment, so I'm sort of just under 3 weeks. It'll be 3 weeks Wednesday, and it's Saturday today. And the only thing I'm having now is the skin is very sensitive and tight, but because it's obviously stretching, so it's very sensitive and it's getting very dry, so I need to make sure I'm like moisturizing frequently. Sorry, it's absolutely tipping it down outside. And I just realized every time I'm doing these videos, I'm in my car, so I'm very sorry about that. But yeah, it's fine. So yeah, my skin is getting very dry, so I just need to make sure I'm moisturizing the areas, obviously avoiding the incision area because I don't want to be moisturizing that just yet, but moisturizing my skin, because if it gets like obviously really dry, it's not very nice, and it's not very comfortable. It gets a bit itchy if it's sort of too dry and too stretched, so keeping it nice and moisturized is helping that. And that's about it. Back to work on Monday. I've had about 3 weeks off, so I've had plenty of recovery time, so hopefully that will go smoothly. So yeah, I'll probably wrap the video up here. So I hope you've enjoyed the little clips that I've put in. Obviously it has been very, very brief. I didn't really document too much. But if you have any questions, as I said before, feel free to ask away, feel free to comment below, and I will get back to you on those. And if you want to see sort of a 3-month or a 6-month review, then I can do that as well. So thank you very much for watching. If you've gotten this far, I'm really sorry, it's probably been extremely boring, but thank you for watching if you have, and maybe I will do another one of these, so maybe I will see you next time. Thank you.